If you want to become a millionaire in 2025, you can. I have hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm going to be a millionaire soon. And I have learned so much, everything about money that I want to teach you. And someone asked me how I would go about becoming a millionaire in 2025. And so I decided to make a video to help you based on everything I've learned to help you become a millionaire soon. Let's dive in. And if you want more videos on mastering your money, your mindset, your habits, and your emotions along the way to be who you're born to be and to live a happy and successful life, feel free to click subscribe. Okay, if you want to become a millionaire, the first thing you need to do is to decide what you want. What do you actually want out of your life? Number one, why do you want to be a millionaire? I would really strongly encourage you to listen to this first because for me, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and I'm doing pretty good. And I'm like, I know I'm going for this millionaire thing and multiple millionaire thing, but I have enough money to do pretty much anything I actually want to. And so asking yourself how much money is required, and maybe you just need a few extra $1,000 a month. Maybe you need $10,000 a month. What is the number for you and why? That can really help us to decide what path we're going to take and when. Okay, once you know how much money and is the millionaire path really for you, or do you just need an extra few $1,000s a month because that's going to change what you do, then you need to decide what lane you want to get in. Obviously, I think if you click this video, you want to get in the fast lane and you want to get wealthy and become a millionaire faster. But I want to give multiple options because everyone is different. So I know you're definitely not on the sidewalk like MJ DeMarco talks about in the Millionaire Fastlane because you're here and you want to actually learn about financial education. But are you in the slow lane? The slow lane is fine. That works for people. If you want to be a nurse and you love being in labor and delivery and that's your passion, but you want to figure out how to become a millionaire or how to help yourself, then yes, you can just follow this one path, invest a certain amount of money, live below your means. If you have $500 a month, invest it into a Roth IRA, and then you will become a millionaire in about 30 years if you invest in the S&P 500 and if it returns about 10% over time. And if you keep going for 40, 50 years, you will have about $8 million. And so I can teach you more about that, and I have videos on how to invest for beginners if you're interested, but that's a path. If you just want to work your regular day job, live a little bit below your means, put some money aside in the S&P 500 that returns an average of 10% over time, Warren Buffett recommends doing this, you're going to be a millionaire. So end the video. You can stop watching now. That's a great strategy. Now, I have all of those things implemented, but there's other things you can do to become a millionaire faster, and I can teach you that too. If you want to get richer a little bit faster and you don't necessarily want to just stay in your job or you want to go a different route, you can go in the fast lane. And if you want a book on this, it's the Millionaire Fast Lane. I have a review and more information on my channel, or you can check it out. There's a link on Amazon below. But if you want to get in the fast lane, you typically need to start some type of business. You need to have a product or a service that you sell. There's a lot of fast lane businesses. And so some of the businesses, a lot of people own businesses, but they're not really going to build you as much wealth as you think. And so you have to pick the right kind of business in order to build the wealth that you really, really want and to get it within 10 years. Because a lot of business owners make as much as someone who's employed, which might not be what you actually want to do. Okay, so a few fast lane business ideas include people who sell a natural type of deodorant and sell the business for $100 million to Procter & Gamble after 4 years. So starting a product, and they provided that product into stores and to consumers. You can also create an app. If you create a smartphone app and sell it 50,000 times, that's going to be a fast lane business and get you a lot of money. They talk about Sarah Blakely, who was a gal who manufactured undergarments for women to help them look good in white pants. And she sold millions and millions of those. And that's how she became a billionaire. It also talks about J.K. Rowling, who wrote a book about a teenage wizard and sold millions and millions of copies. That is another way. Apple, who has subscription services, or it's the Sweat app that Kayla Encinas and Toby Pierce created, subscription service for $19.99 a month or so. That is a fast lane business. The guy who built a software company and eventually became the richest person in the world, but they built the software and that is what built his wealth. Okay, so those were a few ideas for the Millionaire Fast Lane. And so you can read this book or go check out my videos on that and what type of business would work and the commandments of scale and what's actually going to get you the law of affection and how you can affect more people, because clearly here they impacted a lot of people. We could all write a book and sell one copy. And so how do you actually go sell a lot of copies? Or how do you create a product and go through the manufacturing and get it created or get it in stores and sell it? So the idea is key. We need to know the path. We need to know what to do, but it's not always easy to execute. And so that is something to understand, that it's not like you're just going to go invent that deodorant and go make it happen tomorrow. And maybe you will. Please go prove me wrong. But that is something to understand about the fast lane. And that's why the fast lane is 10 years or less, because it takes time to do all these things, to market, to sell, to make it happen, and to get the product made and in stores and all of that stuff. If you want to do a fast lane business, one of the best things I recommend is maybe, depending on your risk tolerance, you just go all in. Maybe you're young, you can live with your parents, you can take the risk and go do it, build the skills, invest in yourself, do the startup, find a product or a service that you want to sell and start there. Or you can start with something that is a business, but it might not have the ability to expand as much as you want if you're going to do contracting work, unless you end up being the owner and then you end up paying your employees and you kind of can expand out. There's different options there. But maybe you want to go the route where you already have a full-time job, or you have a job that you like, or you want to go that route, get a regular job, be employed, go learn and go get paid. And then you can either build something there, or you could build something on the side. A lot of people have the side hustles and do that as well. So you're still making an income, and that can help you with your risk tolerance. Some people say you're never going to achieve your dreams if you are only working on it on the side. So it depends on what you want to do or what you're able to do, but figure that out for yourself when you're deciding to go on this journey. Maybe you already are a nurse like I talked about, and you're like, you know what? I love what I do, but I really would love to expand or figure out how I can create this product for patients because I've seen this need. And so maybe I could go figure out how to make it happen. And so I do want to warn against that because I know that every job matters. And if we don't show up fully in our jobs, the people suffer. Like, I'm a teacher. If I'm not showing up fully as a teacher, then my students are going to suffer. My students aren't going to thrive. And I have a responsibility there to take care of them. And so make sure that if you are doing a job, it's a job that maybe it isn't as high stakes, where you're really, really impacting people. And so just know that that's just my own personal caveat, because it doesn't matter what job you do, you are making a difference. Like, if you're in customer service and then you show up grumpy, you're not helping someone, you're impacting someone negatively. And so just know that. So we know the fast lane. If you're interested in starting a business, I do have a video on the $1 Million Weekend by Noah Kagan on starting your business and getting those blocks and kind of figuring out how to create a product, how to create these things and get thinking and actually get it into the world. And so that ideation phase and what you need to think about and what questions to ask. And so I have a whole video on that, and I really, really like that one. So feel free to check that out. But I would also go back to basics. Like, ask yourself, if you want to become a millionaire, ask yourself, how much debt are you in? Are you in any debt? Where are you now? And so figuring out where you are now financially, how much money you're making, how much money you owe, and figuring out how to tackle that. If you have a lot of debt, you can do the debt snowball or the debt avalanche method, where you can start tackling it. You can also invest in your skills or keep going with your schooling, and then figure out how you can get that job. So focusing on getting that job that's going to have a high income so you can start paying that down. Maybe you can go look for roommates or go live with family or do things where you can reduce your expenses as much as possible so that you can pay all of that off and set yourself up better financially. Go look at your money blocks. Go ask yourself or read The Psychology of Money and figure out how do you think about money and why do you think those things and how can you change it or how can you improve it? Doing the work here on your spending habits, your saving habits, learning about investing, learning about these things is really, really essential. And so I would recommend figuring out your path. How do you want to become a millionaire? Do you want to invest? Learn how to open those accounts. Learn to start a business if you want to go in the Millionaire Fastlane route. And then also just learn about yourself. You will grow and your money will grow when you grow. And so the more personal development you do, I talk a lot about it on my channel. I'm going to be doing more than just money on my channel. And I have a lot of shorts that talk about some of the personal development side. But You have to do the work if you want to get there, and there's a lot of things you can tackle, but these are the main lanes and the main ways I would become a millionaire in 2025. If you want to go ahead and get started on your business, feel free to check out the Millionaire Fastlane or this video on how to start a business in 24 hours or 10 habits making me a young millionaire. You got this. I wish you all the best on your journey.